Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing some mobile hunting simulation. So if you're a saddle hunter like us, the whole point of saddle hunting is to be mobile. Today we're going to walk you through that. So if you're on the cusp of, do I buy a saddle? Do I get into saddle hunting? Do I get into mobile hunting? We're going to take you through, what does that look like? What does it look like e-scouting, finding a new spot, jumping in there, looking for sign, looking for a tree that's going to work for your setup. So we're going to go through it from start to finish. We just parked the truck. Unfortunately, we don't need the e-bike today. We're going to dip down in here. We're going to try to find some sign. Then we're going to find a tree and we're going to kill a deer. But not today because that would be illegal in the future. No arrows. Better? Is that better for you?
Yeah.
First, mobile hunter, you got a couple miles minimum, right? Step one, find some sign. Okay. We're not far from the truck actually, probably a few hundred yards, but here's the reality. We went a few hundred yards that way and there wasn't doing anything. So we came a few hundred yards now this way and we found some activity. What we found was a river, which is cool. What's cool about a river is usually they're going to cross in a specific area over and over again, so it helps you find sign, which is what we did right here.
And where it condenses.
Yeah, so we have some really nice cover next to the river. There's a bunch of rubs that we just saw, a lot of this little thin stuff. They're crossing right here heavy, which we haven't seen sign in a while. So we're going to go to the other side, which is part of requirement for mobile hunting. If you see a river, you must cross it.
With your muck boots.
With your muck boots. Yeah, muck boots. Let's add that to the list.
That's real close.
I think I'm just gonna run.
Okay. I don't. Okay. Okay. How does that feel?
100% dry, just come over here and we'll talk about it.
This don't look good. It looks deep. Tip number 3, don't listen to your buddy when you go hunting. It's deep. Refreshing. Don't mind me. Oh, there's a deer trail.
Yeah, there's some good. All right, quick update. We crossed the river again. That was a requirement. If you see a river, you cross the river. That's a joke. What's important is that you find pockets where there's not as much people. That's the whole goal here. Get to a new spot, get away from people. Sometimes that's 100 yards from the road, sometimes it's a mile. The goal is to get into a spot that hasn't been touched a lot. So in this case, this river wasn't very fun to cross. Usually means that there's probably not going to be many people back here. So there's also a lot of this swamp that you see us walking through, and then there's a little bit of a hardwood island right here with some oaks. These oaks didn't drop last year, at least the ones 400 yards from here that we hunted, so we're hoping that these are going to be the same. They didn't drop last year, they should be pretty heavy this year, meaning this spot could be fire. Little oak island in the middle of this swamp. So let's go see if there's any sign over here. See their butts? There's a bunch of them. They're coming. More are coming. Oh, they're running that way. I think they stopped.
Dude, this one's...
They were in this, those deer, they're probably bedded right now. It looks like there's a bowl between here and that other island.
Oh my god.
and I think they were in there. So right now we're kind of in the transition. We got the river, we got this really thick, dense stuff, some swampy stuff, a couple of little humps right here. We're just gonna keep looking for sign. This looks really good. Tell me that's not a couple of beds. For sure. See him?
Yep.
Probably close to a dozen deer up in there on that hump. Either that or they were down low. Another thing we're looking for out here, I mean right now, yeah, we're looking for a tree for the video as an example, but we're also looking for trees from when we're back in the fall. If you're in the woods looking for mushrooms, sheds, whatever, you're always looking for where would I be sitting, marking those, dropping those pins. If you're gonna go into a brand new spot, I like going at night so you can see. Sometimes I'll even leave that set up so I get one set up at night, one set up the next morning, and then I'll move if there's nothing. Very rarely will I go to a new tree in the morning in the dark, but if I do, that's gonna be clearly marked somehow. Sometimes even running in right now, like we would throw our platform and stuff up if we liked it, mark that tree, come back in the morning. So okay, so we came to a good spot here too. This is a great opportunity for a set. We haven't even looked at trees yet, so the next step is gonna be find a tree. There's plenty of trees here, so one of them's gonna work. But what we found was there's a pretty definitive trail running this way, and we just got to this spot between two humps, and there's a trail running this way. So there's a nice intersection right here. You can see that way there's a pretty clear path. The deer are going to take that path until they feel pressured. And they're going to take that path, and they're going to take this trail. And that's the perk of mobile hunting. A lot of your best hunts are going to be that first time sitting. You're going to catch them off guard. They don't know you've been here. So that's why we do it. That's why we switch spots. That's why we find new areas.
Well, even when you come to a new area, you set up in a spot, you get up there, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I see a better spot. Like you can get down in a matter of 5 minutes and go to the next spot real quick if you're in early enough.
For sure. And especially if you see bucks and if it's closer to the rut, if you see a little buck or a couple of bucks come through and they work the same trail and you can't get a shot, we would recommend 10 out of 10 times moving. Even if you think you don't have enough time, if you have to go there, sit on the ground, there's a reason they take that trail. We saw that at the end of last year when we set that tree with those does. There's 4 or 5 trails where they just kept taking the same one. And we should have moved. If we really wanted to shoot one, we would have moved. But so that's a little tip for you. The first step would be our goal here is going to be probably to shoot one that's running this transition. That's what it looks like. So our wind is blowing this way. We have a trail this way. We're gonna obviously try to set up on this side, the downwind side of the trail. The nice part about these little humps is it's very possible a deer is gonna go over. They can, but again, they're walk these transitions. So if we get up over there with the backdrop with some cover, wind's going that way, deer coming down here, we're gonna be pretty good. We're looking for a tree. There's a lot of options. So we're kind of looking for something that's somewhat straight when we get up there, with a decent backdrop. A lot of times backdrop is more important than what's in front of you, especially, this time of year is gonna be equivalent to like late season where all the leaves are gone. So I'm drawn already to like the pine trees sitting kind of close to them. There's even something over there, or a group of trees that's together.
And this is the part too, is like, you don't always know what it's gonna look like. So plan your day accordingly.
Yeah.
Give yourself some time. Also, you have more time than you usually think.
You do have more time than you think.
As long as you're quiet.
For sure. But yeah, this happens to us every single time. Like, there's 100 trees here we could set up in. Finding the best one is important. You just want to give yourself the best chance. So I'm leaning this way just because I see these pine trees over here. This is where we're settling. Let me tell you why. Because for one, I like to get high. I like to get as high as possible. But what's more important is your coverage. So here we're probably gonna be 2 or 3 sticks up. We're gonna get to the point where just above this thick forage, and we're gonna be in that little gap right there. So the backdrop, everything in front. This is going to be an amazing spot to stay covered, which is great in an area like this. There hasn't been hunters here. We haven't been here. We want the most surprise possible. So what we're going to do is take you in now and how we're going to get set up in this tree. So we found our tree. We know why we found our tree. And now let's get in our tree. Okay, a couple of things here. I didn't wear my platform or my saddle into this spot. I like to carry it in if I'm wandering around or I'm walking a while or I don't really know. I will carry my saddle in, do it at the bottom of the tree. It's not a lot of work and it's not loud to put your saddle on as long as you got room for it. So I just got that on. If I know where I'm going and it's not far, I wear it in usually. Now, what's important is we got to think of where our stick's going to go on this tree and where's our platform going to go. That's huge. You don't want to be figuring that out when you climb the tree. You should know that now. So we think our main shot is going to be that way. Obviously you never know, but that's where the trees are. Trails. So I'm right-handed. I'm going to be shooting this way. My platform is going to be on this side of the tree, right? If anything, trying to get as much behind the tree as possible so there's tree between me and the trails, but still have a very easy shot. So from here to the back side, somewhere in between, wherever it seems good when I get up there, what that means is my sticks are probably gonna be on this side. So I'm gonna run my sticks up this way, and then, or right here, and then platform kind of like over here, and we should have a good shot when we get up there. What's very important when you get into saddle hunting, or even if you're into it and you're trying to perfect your method here, which we have not yet with these sticks, these are new to us, we're gonna get there before season, is how you're gonna get up and down the tree. Now, we're gonna be able to put 2 sticks on here from the ground, and then we're gonna be carrying 2 sticks up with us. Right now, the saddle's not equipped for that, so it's gonna be a little clunky. Also didn't bring the bowstring, so these are things you figure out this time of year and not on opening day. So the reason we got the stick sideways here is to get this as tight as possible. If you used daisy chains before, you're going to be familiar with that. This is similar to a Persig knot. I think it's called something else, but to me it's the same thing. I'm not a knot person, and it's hard to get fully tight when you just put the stick up. So if you put it sideways, then you use leverage to bring it back around like you would with a daisy chain, you're gonna get that a lot tighter. And the reason why that's important is if you have too much of an angle here on this rope to get it tight, that's where you're more likely to have the bottom kick out on you. So you wanna get it as tight as possible. And that's a little hack there for you for these Hyperlite sticks. You can do it just like a daisy chain and get it extremely tight. It's a pretty big step, but I'm a pretty big boy, so I think we'll figure it out. My partner here is going to hand me sticks up today since I don't have them strapped to my sides like you should on opening day. I think I'm going to get up for the second one. I put this one pretty high, so the second one will be kind of up there. So I'm just going to climb the tree and get them up there. So before we get off the ground, first thing you're going to do is get your lineman's belt on you. That's going to keep you from falling all the way to the ground. If you don't already have some of these Ropeman ascenders, these are a game changer, especially climbing the tree, on your lineman's belt for sure. I always start with it all the way out. One hand adjustment there for you, tight and loosen. This is a real game changer for safety and just economic ability. I don't freaking know. They're worth the 50 bucks. All right, so we're safe. We're gonna climb up. I'm just gonna hang on to this because I'm a big boy for this first one. So now that I'm up here, I gotta take some of this slack onto this rope. That's why I really like these. Very easy. We're gonna get this second one popped in here. Also, it's not a race up here. Sometimes I always get myself in a hurry, and all that does, I'm a sweaty guy, it gets me sweaty. So you're not in a hurry to get up the tree. Sometimes you are. Try to give yourself that 10 minutes extra so you don't have to be. So we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna have it sideways. I'm gonna take the slack out of this knot. Get it real tight. And then, see, that's a little baby step right here. That's a learning experience. I should have climbed to the top of this and then put my stick on. That would have gave me the right set. Today we're not going that high, so it doesn't really matter. But if you're really stretching these to get as high as possible, you want to maximize every step. So I could almost make it all the way to that one. It's way too close. Today, doesn't matter. I'll show you what I mean here on the second one. Instead of putting that stick on the right now, I'm gonna go to this. I'm going up one more and then I'm putting it on. We're going straight to the platform. I don't even need that stick. This is where we want to be, I think. All right, from right here, doesn't look like all that much, but what we're gonna do is my shooting lane is gonna be right here. So I'm gonna get tucked up in this gap and I'm gonna do that with the platform. You wanna get this platform, same thing, you wanna get this as tight as possible. And how you're gonna do that, get it on the tree first so it's not going anywhere. Now, I do think I want to be, again, this is where you're looking, how is your angle going to be? I want to be tight this way. We got some dead branches over here. We can get this one out of here. Shoo. All right, maximize how tight this goes. You got to cam it up. Cam it up, crank it down. Then you're going to set it, which is very important. Before you cam it out, set it. Now get your cam out. That thing is done. It's not going anywhere. Now, big step, and we're up. Okay. Now, what I've noticed is I actually went too high with 2 sticks. I need to be in this hole right here. This is my shot. So, I'm just gonna step down, and we're gonna move it down about a foot, which isn't very difficult. If it's not right, fix it. So we're just gonna give it a little slack. Gonna move it down. I wanna be right in that hole. Not trying to bust any branches. We want all the cover possible. I wanna be back more. All right, so we're setting it down. Getting tree dust all over my new prime. That branch was dead, it's okay. All right. Oh, yes, this is what I'm talking about. We have a beautiful window where they're gonna be coming down. Never to be seen. This is the natural cover that you're looking for a setup. It's a little thick. Our shots are a little tight here, but a really good window that way. Got a little hole right here, we can sneak one through. What's important is the cover. We're surrounded by these pine trees. We are not getting busted here. That's what matters. We've never sat here before. Let's get some intelligence, let's watch, let's give ourselves in the game. We got a chance, but we're not gonna get busted. So, next step is safety. Again, we got up here, everything's right. The very first thing we're gonna do is get our tree tether on. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. The easy way, and the most common way, straight through the loop. Now, we are straight through the loop. Now here's the deal. This works most of the time, but this is one of those trees where I would recommend you do something a little bit different here, which sometimes this bugs me, but I do it on these types of trees. which is create yourself a hitch, which I haven't done with these trophy line ropes yet, so let's see how this goes. There we go. So we just stuck it through. That way when we get this in, we'll be able to actually cinch it down, which is overkill most of the time. But on a tree like this, a slick tree with no branches, what it does is it keeps it in place. So it's just nice to know for when you need it. It's annoying when it's dark and you're trying to take it off sometimes, but buckled in for anything, lock it up. Be smart. Saddle hunting is very safe if you do it the right way, because you're always in the tree here, and when you're about ready to take this off, you're in the tree here. So we got tightened up. We're gonna extend over the bridge. Usually, safe bet is the longer your bridge, the more comfortable it's gonna be. I start with it most of the way out. Get this puppy real tight. I've also found for your tree tether, pretty much eye level, somewhere in your face, top of the head to chin is pretty solid standard position. You can adjust it around. Every tree's different. I'm just making sure everything's good here before I take my safety belt off. Now that that's off, we're just gonna sit into it. Putting this away, my one-handed pocket. Bam. All right, we're looking good. We got a nice shot here, and we got our shot right here. Now we can get our secret system set up here on the tree. This is Dylan's. We'll see how it works. I don't know. We'll give it a rating. All right, here we go. This fancy rig is Dylan's G3D kit. It's got a boat. Does it come with all this on here?
It comes with all of it on there, and it comes condensed down so they all fit into that little one hand.
Yeah, if you didn't see it before, we'll overlay a little picture here what it looks like all together. But it's small, it's condensed, it's light. It's got a bow hook and it's got 3 hooks. Honestly, you probably only need one of these most of the time, but whatever, it's nice to have. So I've never used this before. I'm just gonna wing it here, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna go around the tree.
Good start.
And we're gonna clip the loop. For this case, and actually this is only since we started self-filming, I actually hang my stuff above my tether now because camera arm goes below and it gets a little congested. I used to hang it just under. Now I go just over. Okay, that's very easy to use, so I'm not gonna lie. You got one hand, you're tightening it up, and the other hand, you're making sure it's in a decent position. Move these hooks around. Man, that actually got pretty tight too.
It gets real tight.
I'm gonna move one of these hooks to the other side. Like I said, I really only need one. I need one for the bow, one for the bag.
And you can move those hooks even before you tighten it to where you want them to be.
Yeah, that's what I did. I had to loosen it to actually get it where I needed it. So I'm gonna need that prime ski from down there. Seems to be more of a cam style one. I wouldn't trust it on the limb. I'd definitely hang a cam on there, but it's solid. If it was hunting season, we'd put an arrow. Boom. Boom. Oh. Did you mark this tree? You should probably mark this tree. This is a solid spot.
All right, I'll mark it.
So yeah, we're hunting. And as you can see, we're maybe from the platform is like 8 feet off the ground, probably, maybe 10, I don't know. It's not about necessarily always getting as high as possible. It's just about getting where you have the best cover. That's what matters the most. So you do have to be a little more careful of your movement. These branches like this, you just got to be careful and cognizant because that's what they're going to pick up on. Yeah. This backpack, this is actually one of my main shooting areas right here. So the backpack, ideally not in a great spot. I'll probably end up just tying a knot in or something and getting in this extra cord. So if I gotta come around here and rip one through there, I can. Sometimes I'll even just use the straps that's on the pack, and I'll hang it on a neighbor tree like this. This is always a solid avenue too, especially when you got like something up here. Bam. Then you got your stuff right here, camera gear, everything you need. It's not blocking a shot. Boom, we're hunting till dark. And what did I miss?
I mean, I don't think you missed anything, but it just shows that, I mean, this was fairly quick, but also we're talking about it at the same time. So
Yeah.
you can get into your spot pretty quick and find a tree that you want to be in, get in within 5-10 minutes. It doesn't have to be a race. And you're hunting. I mean, this is mobile hunting at its finest. You could be in this tree, you could see 2 bucks go 200 yards into a different direction that you know another one's going to do, and you can get down in the same amount of time and do it again. But getting down, you're going to want to use the same system you did to go up, but backwards.
The more consistent you can be, the better it's going to be in and out. If you're new to saddle hunting, it just takes time to get comfortable in the saddle, and it takes time getting in the tree, out of the tree, and everything. Like Dylan's first year, he didn't really love it, and now he loves it. I think it just takes time, you know, do it, keep pushing yourself to do it, try new places. Here's another thing. If you're gonna go to the same tree over and over again, like we said earlier, just hang a tree stand. That's fine. This is to get you out. We're in Michigan, we're in public land. You can't bait. We don't have food plots that the DNR put out. And so we bounce around to try to find deer. That's gonna be it. So this acorn areas, transitions, bedding, we just gotta continue moving around to figure out where the deer are right now. And that's why mobile hunting's great. We can't put out a tree stand and put a bag of corn out. Some people do, you can't. So now let's get down. First things first, I'm gonna use my really nice bow rope, and I'm gonna lower my bow down. Careful with that. Then we're going off with our tree strap. What is this thing called? You remember?
3D, I don't remember the name, but we'll link it below.
Yeah.
But it's from G3D, and it's pretty much a bow hook strap.
Yep. And then it's like, this thing's actually pretty cool, but I don't know exactly how it goes, but I'm just guessing it's close to this because this looks good. You get those hooks to wrap up, and then you can just wrap this rope around. Look at that. Easily fits in one of these one-handed pockets right here. The reason why this is important to take off first is because I want it at the bottom of my pocket. This is gonna be one of the last things I do. So next is gonna be the tree tether, which obviously I'm not taking off right this second. I would fall to the ground, not die today, but it would hurt. It would definitely hurt. So getting the other pouch open, boom, Lyman's boat. We're getting this puppy on. If you have one of these fancy Nimbus saddles, you have loops right here for this. So the other side is in all the time, and this side you clip on. Same thing. Make sure you lock your carabiners. It's not worth it. Figure out what we need. One-handed, take some slack out of there. Get the Ropeman ascender, please. Now that we know we're safe, we're gonna try to take off our tree tether. This is where I was saying this knot sometimes is a little bit annoying, this little hitch, because it's unnecessary, but on a tree like this, it helps keep your stuff from sliding around. But gives you an extra couple seconds up here. Now, I like to go same pocket I just put my gear strap in. That's what it is, it's a gear strap. So now when I climb the tree in the morning, this pocket I got, when I first get up here, I got my tether. I get the tether on. The next thing in that pocket is going to be my gear strap, which is the exact order that I need them in. So that's perfect. I like to take a little bit of slack out of this. And now we're going down. Lift the platform up. Some of this stuff is basic to some of you guys. I get that. But we're giving the full walkthrough. Depending on how high you are, this is nice because I can just actually set it down. That's going to make a little clank, which I'll try to avoid. And honestly, I know I can get both of these sticks from the ground, so rather than hang here and try to take one off, I'm just getting down. Take a second, get comfy. Let's get this thing off, then we'll grab those sticks out of here. I'm very particular, but I think especially with saddle hunting, it really does make a difference. Get that nice wrapped up and get it put away. On to the next project. All right, let's get this stick off here. Yeah, that thing was pretty tight. All right. If you haven't wrapped these trophyline sticks up yet or seen that, and you just got them, these are the Hyperlite sticks. These are made out of magnite. They are extremely light, just over a pound. That's with the attachment, right? So we're gonna get this on here. Ooh. 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 That one's really stretched. Look at that stackability. That's so crazy. Also, this hoodie's perfect, man. This is a Renegade, right?
Yeah, it's a Renegade hoodie.
Renegade hoodie. Yeah, no, it's perfect for this time of year. It's gonna be great early season. It's very thin. Very thin, but it takes the edge off. It's got the built-in hood, which is coming in handy for these gnats. About to swoop that thing on right now. Built-in mask with a hood. Ooh. It's good for turkey season. If your turkey season's still going on, you can grab one of these hoodies. Make sure you use our code, which is in the description below. Get yourself some percentage off. But it's gonna be epic for early season too. So we're gonna go twice around the top, twice around the bottom, twice again, and then bang. Ah. Bam. Stack them up. Now, we're gonna get this thing packed up on the bag, which is freaking very cool. This is the Palisade pack. This is what we're running this year. We actually got two different packs, but we're using this one today. So this has this pouch right here, which is great for up in the tree, outside. You can open this up. You can have your grunt call, snacks. This is, you know, I gotta have a snack pouch. This is my snack pouch for sure. It's got a magnet. So what we're gonna do, this platform's gonna fit in there perfectly. Boom, boom, see that? And then we are gonna get these straps on. There's lots of straps. I think it's...
Is that one? Nope.
It's this one?
Yeah, it's that one.
This doesn't matter too much, but it should be this one. Bam. All right, so that's not going anywhere. And then sticks, we're gonna split them up. You could definitely put all the sticks on one side. Nothing says you can't do that, but it's nice to kind of split them up this way. Keeps your pack consistent, both sides of it. Not that it's heavy, but if you have 4 pounds on one side and no pounds on the other, you will notice it. So let's just get these buckled in. There's nothing else in this pack either. It looks like it's full because it's got some hard shell foam that kind of keeps its shape, but there's really basically nothing on the inside of this thing. So a little bit of camera gear, but it keeps its shape like that. So that way it keeps your stuff protected. It's really nice if you're doing some self-filming. That's why we were attracted to this pack. This is the last thing going in my pouch, and it's gonna go right on top. That's because this will be the very first thing that I use. Get up the tree, this will be the platform. Once the platform's on, I get on the platform, then it's going to the next one. Once I'm tethered in, then I'm getting the gear strap on. Now, we're walking out. It's still daylight too. We just shot a biggin. So first things first, if you liked any of the gear that you saw in the video today, that's all in the description below. From the bow we're using this year, the camera gear that we use to film, and the camera gear we're using to film our hunts this year. What we're using for our saddles, our backpacks, and our clothing. Discount codes, check out the description for that. Thanks for coming along. What we did today, mobile hunting, what it's like, and what a simulation of that's gonna be, from looking online, thinking, hey, maybe this is a good spot, I'm gonna go check it out. Parking, walking in, finding some sign. After you found sign, this is where I wanna be, let's find a tree. Once we find a tree, how do we get in that tree? How do we position ourselves? Get up, get down with the saddle, get back out of the woods safely. That's the most important thing. So always wear your safety gear, use the wind, use your cover, and try mobile hunting, because it's going to give you more opportunities, especially if you're in an area where there's not a lot of food, or you can't bait, or you don't have private land that you can put a food plot on. Mobile hunting is going to get you some more opportunities to be successful.
Like and subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you on the next one.
This episode is brought to you by